Welcome back, and we are going to take a look at the literary devices or poetic devices used in the poem How to Tell Wild Animals. So this poem is rich and it is filled with many literary devices used by the poet. The first stanza: if ever should you go by chance to the jungles in the east, and if there should to you advance a large and tawny beast, if he roars at you as you are dying, you will know it is the Asian lion. We have enjambment here. Enjambment is continuation of a sentence to the next line, and it is there in the first, second line, third, fourth line, and the next two lines as well. A short video is shared with the description of all literary devices on the same channel. You may go back and check. I'll share the link in the description box. So there's inversion. So for example, here it is, if there should to you advance. So instead of saying if a lion approaches you, she says if there should to you advance. Or if ever you should go by chance. So if by chance you go. So again there's inversion there. So inversion is change in the structure of the sentence. There's assonance. Assonance is repetition of vowel sound in consecutive words. So it should be vowel sound, not just the vowels. So here we see if ever, you should. So you and should have the same, producing same vowel sounds produced by O and OU. And also in the third line, should to you. So all the three words have the similar vowel sound. So there's assonance there as well. Now there's another one, that is allusion. Allusion is when there's a reference to a famous thing, place or species of animal. So here there's reference to Asian lion. So there's allusion as well. So there's also use of poetic license we see in the word dying, D-Y-I-N, so that it rhymes with the word lion. Right? So that is the liberty that the poet has taken to change the spelling of the word dying. Coming to the second stanza. So here we have alliteration. We start with alliteration. So if you remember in the previous video, I said that roaming round is actually roaming around. A is missing there. So there's also poetic license used here. The poet has taken the liberty to change the spelling of the word around to round, so that there is alliteration. Roaming round. The sound of R is repeated. Next, there's also inversion here. The Bengal tiger to discern. The structure is reversed. So to discern Bengal tiger, instead of that it is said the Bengal tiger to discern. There's allusion in this stanza as well. So there's mention of Bengal tiger. There's imagery when the poet says black stripes on yellow background. What is imagery? Imagery is a literary device where a picture is created with the help of words. The third stanza is about the leopard. So in this we have literary devices. There's again alliteration here with the sound of H repeating here. He has leapt on you in the third line. So he has the repetition of sound H. And then again there's poetic license here. Leapt is actually L-E-A-P-T. So the spelling of leapt is changed here just to create a rhyming sense or maybe to give it a rhythm. Again, there's also imagery here whose hide with spots is peppered, describing the hide of leopard as being peppered. The spots seem as if the hide has been peppered. Okay, there's repetition, the use of the word leap in the last line, so it is repeated in the same line. There's also assonance here. Assonance is again repetition of vowel sound. So the O sound is repeated in the words strolling forth. Again there's do, good and to are having the same vowel sounds, that is repeated. No and roar. So do no good to roar. So no and roar also have the same vowel sound. Next stanza. So again there's enjambment. Round your yard. This sentence is continued to the next line. Then there's alliteration. When you're walking, the sound of W is repeated there. Then again sound of H repeated in third line. You can also count the her sound made by who hugs you very very hard, right? So it is actually who hugs and hard. H sound is repeated. Remember that the consonant sound should be repeated, not the consonant. So that is why we are counting who also. Again the B sound is repeated in be sure it is a bear. So the sound of the consonant B in bee and bear is repeated. Assonance in meet a creature there. E sound in meet and creature are repeated. So assonance. Again there's repetition in very very hard. Going to the next stanza. A novice might non plus. Again alliteration in the Second line, novice and nonplus. Sound of consonant N is repeated. There's also enjambment. Beasts of prey, a novice might nonplus. The sentence is continued in the next line without any punctuation mark. We also have inversion. So instead of saying, thus you may tell a crocodile from a hyena, the sentence is inverted. So that is inversion. So crocodile you always may, tell from hyena thus. The next stanza has alliteration, where the her sound is repeated and he hasn't any ears at all. There's also consonants. Now, consonants is repetition of consonant sounds in consecutive words, but the sound may not be in the beginning of the word. So it is unlike alliteration. In the last line, if you see single wing, so the sound made by G here is repeated. So that is consonants. So those are the literary devices. Stay tuned and subscribe to the channel to find videos on explanations of almost all the chapters and poems from Standard 10 CBSE Board English Language and Literature.